This is Cliff Crowder from Best Tools, and we have before us here the workhorse of the industry, the master kit that we have perfected for the beginner. And one of the reasons we're making this is because we get numerous calls from people who are contemplating going into business and want to know how to open cars and what tool is the best to use. So we will attempt to go through this kit, although we have many other kits, but this is the one that I recommend that we start with. So we will go tool by tool and work with this. All openings need to use a wedge to get between the window and the door for room for the tools to go in. Before us here we have 3 or 4 different kind of wedges. This is the standard wedge that comes in the package, and it is made of high density poly, and they're all the same material. This one has the grooves, which you can see here, which we've highlighted with black ink, and later on I'll explain what that's for. This is another wedge that we call a mini wedge. Here we have 2 air wedges, which we will get to a little later and explain how they work. Now we'll move on to the Wonder Tools. Here we have 3 different Wonder Tools. The Wonder Tool is designed to go under the window, come up inside the passenger compartment, and either flip the mechanical switch or hit the electric button. The reason we have 3 different sizes, as you can see from the apex of each one down to the working end, they're different lengths. Consequently, they'll reach different cars. The one in the middle, the number 100, is the one that is in the master kit, and it will do nearly all of the vehicles. All of our tools are made of spring steel, and you can hear that steel snap like that, and you know that it's good quality, coated with zinc chromate. And we'll move on to another tool here. We're going to move over to the Zinger and the GM tool. This is for the GM cars, and this is a new style GM lock that's been around for quite a while now. It's not nearly as new as it sounds, but one of the problems we have is the availability to get to the lock rod. This is a slide lock, and we have 2 types of locks, slide lock and electric lock, and the vertical lock, the horizontal up and down. Now I have 2 tools, and here is what we call the GM tool, which is one end looks like a screen door hook, and the other end looks like a fancy hook of some sorts. And that's for the wide body cars. One of the things that you'll notice how much farther it reaches out than this one right here. That's where it will catch the lock and move it. I will proceed to put this down inside this glass door. Wouldn't it be nice if all the cars had glass doors? One of the things you do is you go underneath it, come up underneath, hook it, slide it forward. Now that takes care of that. Then on the other side we have a regular slide lock, which I will turn the glass door around where you can see how it works. We put the tool down inside the door, and we'll hunt for the rod. When we find the rod, we'll dance it up and down because it's kind of mushy, so it feels like it. We'll twist the rod to put it in a bind and slide it forward, and that unlocks it. This is tool number 230, which we call the Japanesey, because when we first made this tool, it would open all of the cars listed there. And I will give you a demonstration on how this tool works. You go under the window, you come up inside the vehicle, and you twist the point of this into the handle that goes upward to lift the tool, like that. and you've unlocked it. If you lock it again, another feature of this tool is you can come up just underneath it and just lift up and it'll open it. And on the other end, we have what we call the button hook. There's numerous cars that you can go under the window, come up under the button, and just lift it up, which makes it relatively easy. With a glass door, it's really easy. But the mechanism here is virtually untouchable with any other tool. This is a typical Ford lock. They haven't changed in years. And we bend the rod, bend the bar. It's shapeable. We hook onto the rod to lift up, and then we just lift it up like that. And then we take it out, turn it loose, and take it out, and we got it made. You can see there that I call that the Ford bend, and we use that frequently. All of the Fords, the late model GMs now have lift up buttons which you can open this way. Before us we have the instruction booklet that's in all of our kits, and it covers cars up to 10 years ago and farther. Now in front of us we have what we call the knob nabber. This is used to go past the door post between the door and the frame, and then you can work it around like such, and eventually you work it over this knob like this, and then you just pull it taut and pull it up. We will demo that on the live demo a little later. This here is a gas cap key. It's dual-ended, and it has probably the two most common cheap lock keyed to use on aftermarket gas caps, cheap locks, and maybe unlock your heart.